Coming up on Texas Voices, we head to New Braunfels, where the community comes together for an important cause.
I wish we didn't have to do this, but she's telling her story.
Texans helping Texans. Plus, we sit down with up-and-coming Texas country artist Gunnar Latham. He lends his voice to help in the fight against MLD in this special episode, Believing for Bryleigh. Texas Voices features the artists, musicians, and creatives of our great state next.
Stoke the fire and keep on digging. Make the most of what you're giving. It may seem cold and it may seem tough. Even steel will bend when you heat it up. You're on the road to better days. If you can outlast the sun and outlast the rain, ain't a lot of hard lessons made. Let me tell you, son, soon you're gonna show us how it's done.
Howdy, and welcome to beautiful New Braunfels, Texas. I'm Lindsay Littman. This is a city that's historic and known for the rivers that runs through it, but there's something else, a lot of love. Tonight we head to River Road Ice House for a special event called Believing for Bryleigh. It raises awareness for families impacted by metachromatic leukodystrophy, a genetic disorder that affects nerves, muscles, behaviors, and slowly gets worse over time. We'll talk to Bryleigh's family about why building a support network has made a difference in countless lives. But first, meet Texas country artist Gunnar Latham, who believes in continuing the country music tradition he grew up on.
It's a rough road riding that rodeo.
So I imagine you must have been pretty young when you first sang in your dad's church or got into music, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, grew up in church and everything, very Southern Baptist. Sang in the choir, played piano, guitar, just kind of drummed in the band wherever I could fit in, and just kind of fell in love with it.
So for you, I know you went into rodeo and did that in college as well. At what point did you say, okay, I'm going to do music full time?
That was a big turning point in my life because I wanted rodeoing. I wanted to do that for a living. Like I was like, you know, I'd go to sleep at night and be like, I'm gonna make the NFR, you know, stuff like that, like everybody does in their careers or whatever. And so that was like a big turning point for me in my life. And if I'm being honest, it was kind of like a God thing for me. God just totally moved me from one area and put me into something else. And I prayed for that. I prayed for a burning desire to do music, and it came to me. So that's kind of how that went.
So tell me about your writing process and kind of what inspires you. You have that traditional country sound, but different, you know?
I mean, I grew up, my dad listened to Vanilla Ice like when I was a kid, and like Prince and Michael Jackson.
Well, the preacher's got a good taste in music, doesn't he?
Yeah, he gets slowed down. He'll get down.
He can get down.
But great guy. But and then Grandpa, Conway Twitty, that whole area.
Yeah.
And then while I was rodeoing, listening to Buck Owens and everything from the oldies down the road, and all that stuff. And then so I've always loved a good lyric, like songs that make sense.
Yeah.
You know, like you could read it as a poem and be like, oh, makes sense. And then hopefully, I believe so, that my songs relate to me, country music and whatnot. And so, but it does have a little bit of different like modernness to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I get that from.
So is there a particular song that you're most proud of writing?
Yes, there is a song that I wrote. It's called Nothing to Do with Blood. I haven't put it out yet. I think that might be later on in my life, but it's about my dad was adopted growing up, and then my little brother is adopted. And so basically it's a thank you from my little brother saying thank you to my dad for adopting him, because family's got nothing to do with blood. So
I love that. So has your family been super supportive of your music career? They're probably a lot happier that although you weren't riding bulls, right? You're roping, but they're probably...
I was roping steer wrestling.
Yeah, they're probably happy to see this shift toward the music.
It's been, at first they're kind of like, what?
Yeah.
You know, like, you're doing this full time? And I'm like, Well, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause to me, I'm like, I'd go to this this bar in Alpine where I went to school at Sil Ross. It's called the Old Crystal Bar, and I'd play there like every Tuesday for $200.
Yeah.
And I say this all the time for me and my roommate because nobody else would go. So I just sit there and write or whatever and just try to play songs. And I'm like, man, I'd make $200 or $300, and people started coming. And I'd make, $500-600. And I'm like, that's great for a college kid. Or whatever, and I kind of learned like you're kind of like almost guaranteed money playing music. Not all the time in certain situations, but in rodeo it's like you don't know investing all of this stuff to win or lose, and that takes a lot of the guts and grit. But me not having certain money sponsors and financially capable of doing rodeo as I wanted to be, music was definitely more financially stable.
It's funny. I heard a similar story. We interviewed Ryan Bingham a couple of years ago when he very first was getting on Yellowstone, and he was like, I figured it out. I could go rodeo and lose all my money and my teeth. He was like, or I could play in the bars and play music, and he was like, or I could be building a fence. He's like, I just gravitated toward the music, and I'm like, well, it pays off if you have the heart for it, and clearly you have the heart for it. So tell me kind of what's coming up, something that you're looking forward to.
So early November, I haven't picked out a date yet, but early November I'm dropping, it'll be a volume 3, it'll be 3 more songs. It's a song called Don't Hold Your Breath, a song called Get Down, and a song called 1 2 Step at a Time. Awesome. And I'm throwing like steel guitar in there, so they're kind of getting a little more country with it. I'm super excited about those.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's the plan. And just trying to play as many gigs as I can.
Your music is great. It's so nice to come out here, and I know you live here in the New Braunfels area. Tell me how nice it is to come out to an event like this, lend your time and your talent for such a great cause.
I mean, the cause is like unbelievable. Not a lot of people have enough research and resources to understand what's going on and what causes everything, but the fact that they're out here, and even like, there's people out here that don't have an idea what's going on. But like, we're still appreciative of that because they're giving money to the cause.
Right.
So I'm very grateful to just be a part of it.
And I liked the theme too of just keep fighting, just keep moving forward. Is there any advice that you've been given along the way that is kind of a motto that you live by, or kind of a way that you live your life and approach the music and everything else that you're doing?
My dad always told me the sun don't wait on no one, son. So you get up and do your deal, You grind every day, and that's kind of how I live by now.
Stay tuned as Gunner performs for us. But first, the community comes together when our special episode, Believing for Bryleigh, continues. Welcome back to New Braunfels. It's true, everything in Texas is bigger here, including our hearts. At this year's event, more than $300,000 was raised for families all across the world impacted by MLD. When they say it takes a village to raise a child, this village is as good as it gets.
You have such a personal connection to what's happening here today.
Caprice is Bryleigh's mom, and she was the maid of honor at my wedding. I call them the Marion Five. There's 5 girls. They grew up together. I think they were 1 or 2 years apart, and we've done life together.
I'm here for Bryleigh because I believe we're going to continue to believe, and we're going to raise some money on a Sunday afternoon.
So this means something to me. It's very blessed being in the auction business that I get to do a lot of events for a lot of people that raise a lot of money for good causes. They're all good causes, Lindsay. This is my cause.
Brett Richards is part of this tribe, and Bryleigh is who they're fighting for.
Our first international grant for a family that had 2 affected kiddos in India. That's how far it's going.
We didn't know. We thought this might be a year or 2. We get her cured, we're off, and we found out that it's more than that. And then we also found out that they're very blessed and able to take care of a lot of things, but there's a lot of families that aren't. I mean, when you come home and you get that diagnosis, and all of a sudden you have to have full-time, 24-hour care for your child, that is that gets expensive.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so this foundation has raised over $1 million, and they don't keep it for Bryleigh. They put it out there in the world.
Right.
They put it out there for research. They buy Sprinter vans for
Yeah.
kids. They try to buy Sprinter vans. They research and full-time nurses and grants for this research. And what they found is we have a young warrior princess that is going to change the world.
Michael Devers bottles the spirit of New Braunfels in the world's only Heffenweizen-style whiskey, Bonbrecker Slow River Blend.
Again, we're all about New Braunfels, kind of that German rigor meets Texan swagger.
Randy Rogers is a partner and has also been on the Believing for Bryleigh stage, celebrating life and family.
It's definitely a special event. You know, the cause itself is so great, but also we're all about New Braunfels. In fact, Bonbrecker, our tagline is the spirit of New Braunfels, and this is such a great event. Everyone from New Braunfels comes out here, and because we're all founders living here in New Braunfels, and we all have other businesses, you know, the other businesses have been supporting this event over the years in a smaller way, and as we came together as Bonbrecker, it was a really natural discussion. You know, instead of supporting it separately in a smaller way, let's get together and support it in a big way as Bonbrecker.
And this group will fight for your family too.
What we have found is that it is a community that supports each other, and they are fighting a common enemy that you cannot see.
Right.
And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here today.
The thing about New Braunfels, it's the people, the food, the love of community. It all goes back to their roots, and that's exactly what's happening here today.
And the rivers.
Yeah, and the river.
Slow River Blend.
All right, here we go. Ooh, yeah. Very smooth. It's very smooth.
Still ahead, Bryleigh's family shares their struggles and triumphs in the fight against MLD. It's a touching story you don't want to miss. Welcome back. Here at Texas Voices, we want to highlight stories that you may not see every day, that show ordinary Texans doing extraordinary things. Bryleigh Shullanberger is one of those tough Texans. She was born November 1st, 2010, a happy and healthy baby girl. But by her second birthday, she still wasn't walking. Soon after, a diagnosis of MLD changed the family's life forever. Her parents, Caprice and Corbin, sat down in their home to share their story of strength and hope.
I guess, you know, for us, things really got started whenever she was about 1.5, and she was having some trouble walking. It wasn't that she couldn't do it, but it was like she was very tentative. And so we just thought maybe there was something that we should investigate. And that's when they did a full body MRI and basically found, you know, what he thought was metachromatic leukodystrophy, which I'd never heard that word before.
She lost the ability to do everything in about 3 months. From sitting up to talking to eating. She had to have a feeding tube put in and say, I know. That little voice went quickly, which we miss.
As a dad, I was trying to figure out a way to like fix it, you know? So just, you know, I spent like many late nights just researching and trying to find answers and trying to get in touch with doctors over the seas and just kind of figure out like what we could do to, you know, maybe there's got to be a way to stop this, you know.
It's real tough. If Corbin's having a bad day, I hope that I can lift him up. If I'm having a bad day or there's a lot going on with her, he's there for me. Her big brother helps out a lot. He's amazing. I mean,
he's changed her. Mm-hmm. He
can give her feeds and her meds, and he calms her down. And he has learned how to give her a bath. And we're so proud of him. And it just kind of goes to show you that siblings, when they have a sister or brother that have a special need, they will become a different kind of kid. We've tried to just stay strong, such as trying to keep our relationship, because being a parent, as tough as it is, but having a child with special needs is really tough and puts a strain on your relationship. And you we love these kids so much, and we know that all the other parents do too. They're dealing with the same thing, and that's why this is so important, because the struggle it's real.
It gets so emotional the week of and the day, because I wish we didn't have to do this, but she's telling her story, and so we have been able to help out so many families.
We live in a really great community that is always very supportive of if anyone needs anything. You know, we had a crazy group of friends. There was a handful of them, and they just had this idea to put together this benefit concert with all these different artists, and they already had people committed, and they had all these ideas and activities, and it just got really big. And we realized really early on that it was gonna net a large sum of money. And so that's when we decided to set up Believing for Bryleigh as a 501c3.
Some of the things that B4B has been able to do for these families, because of our partners out there and because of the families and because of our friends and the community of New Braunfels and surrounding areas, is, we've been able to send families to Hunter's Hope to be able to be around other families for the week and to just enjoy and be on vacation. That's things that families don't get to do. You don't get to go on vacation with your kiddos. We've been able to help quite a few families be able to, where they can purchase a handicap accessible van. We paid for a therapy dog, or to help pay for a therapy dog for Sweet Owen. Jogging strollers. There's so many amazing things that have just changed a family's life. It feels good to be able to help others, and like he said, we never thought that we would be here at this point. To be running a nonprofit is, you just I would never thought in a million years. To be able to have this show that we get to share this year, through all of this, it's pretty incredible. We love music. She loves music. And so it literally comes back to us being blessed and us being able to help out so many families.
Well, I think even though her body can't do anything, it's like this is her work.
Telling her story.
It's what she's doing.
Yeah.
They're an incredible family, and thank you to them for allowing us to share their powerful story. Still ahead, Gunnar Latham performs some original music and how you can get connected with the Believing for Bryleigh Foundation.
This song's called Thank God It's Raining. I wrote it with Josh Grider in New Braunfels, Texas. And basically this song is about somebody recognizing that it's raining outside and they want to stay at home with their honey and take care of the relationship. So here you go. It's been a hell of a dry spell, everything's burning up. And there's still 6 more weeks of summer to go. But it looks like we might be in for a little break. As I see lightning, I can hear the thunder roll. I just heard the first drop, I hope it don't stop. Thank God it's raining, baby, let's stay in. This house all tangled up in this bed. It came without warning, but I'm glad it's storming. Better take shelter like that weatherman said. You must have heard me praying. Thank God it's raining. I can't go to town 'cause the road might flood. I can't do half the things I was gonna get done. We get a pen, we can make it less me and you. Of all the things that we've been meaning to do. Thank God it's raining, baby, let's stay in. This house all tangled up in this bed. It came without warning, but I'm glad it's storming. Better take shelter like that weatherman said. You must have heard me praying. raining. Yeah. And let the sky pour the water, and I'll pour some wine, and we'll find a way to pass the time. Thank God it's raining, baby, let's stay in. Oh, his hair's so tangled up in his bed. It came without warning, but I'm glad it's storming. Better take shelter like that weatherman said. You must have heard me praying. You know what I'm saying. Thank God it's raining. Yeah. Ooh. Thank God it's raining. All right.
Thanks, Gunnar. This has been a very special episode of Texas Voices. We hope to raise awareness and let other families know there's support and many helping hands. You can go to believe4b.org to learn more. And make sure to check out TexasVoicesShow.com, our social media pages, and now on YouTube. We'll see you next time.
Whether it be emotional support, just a friend, a shoulder, financial support through Believing for Bryleigh, they're just fantastic. Our daughter Tegan was diagnosed with late infantile metachromatic leukodystrophy in October of 2018. Some of the struggles that have gone with this is just watching your child lose every ability that they ever learned. It's a heart-wrenching, heartbreaking situation to go through.
Thank you for helping us whenever we were really down and Annie was sick.
We're one of the many faces that Believing for Bryleigh has helped. Thank you so much for having a giving heart and helping out this foundation.
We love y'all. Thanks so much.